Have you ever done a live stream with StreamYard?
Um, no. I'm trying to think. I used Streamline for a little bit, but I transferred over to Ecamm.
Okay, nice.
Why did you make the switch?
It just gave me more control for overlays, and not my internet connection isn't the strongest, so it allowed me to control it with the program, the software, as opposed to a streaming platform.
It's still browser based though, right?
No, it's not browser based. It's like the software. That's why I'm able to control it a little more.
I see.
Well, there we go. Real Migos is back. It's been probably about a month. I apologize for that. I needed a couple weeks off towards the end of the year, so I took that time off, fully expecting. We actually were originally going to bring our guest, Sir Ashely, on the 29th. I still needed just another week, and then I hit the old COVIDs. Apparently, you're not allowed to lick, or not supposed to lick every doorknob at the airport, and I did that. So still trying to get over this whole thing, and it's already the beginning of the year, and it's crazy. So we had to miss last week, but we are back. I've got a fantastic guest. If you have not heard of Sir Ashely, I highly recommend, and you're looking, East Coast, you're looking at Charlotte, just looking at the market in general. I highly recommend taking a gander at his YouTube channel. A lot of great videos. In fact, his last video, or one of his last videos, was on should you buy in this market right now, yes or no. I think that was a very good video. And if it's something you're kind of into, I recommend popping over and looking at that. I'll show up his channel right here. I got introduced to him from this video over here that he did talking about reventure and Nick. We had a pretty good conversation, and I thought, man, you'd be great for coming on the channel. I don't want to go too crazy about the reventure, but we'll talk about that a little bit, some of the faulty things that we've seen, some of the things that he said on his video in regards to that. So we will chat about that. And then we're going to go through and we're going to talk about kind of what's going on in the market, what we're seeing for 2022. We're going to talk about lease prices going up, our rentals going up, new construction, what we're going to see there, interest rates. We're going to talk about Facebook and Meta. We have Sir Ashely for an hour. So we are going to try to fill up that hour as much as we can. But all right, welcome to the channel, Sir Ashely. I'm going to give you a couple minutes just to introduce yourself if I did a terrible job at it. Hello and welcome.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me. No, you did a good job introducing me. I am also a YouTuber. I am a reformed attorney, found real estate while practicing law, an investor turned real estate agent, and I love all things real estate. So whether you want to talk about buying, selling, investing, I'm here. I'm here for it.
Nice. And you have one of the coolest names on YouTube I've ever, when I was like, no, that can't be a real name, Sir Ashely, but it is. You are a sir. So welcome to the channel.
I can't take credit for it. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Ian, welcome. Happy New Year, man. How's it going with life in Austin?
Dude, it's incredible. I am also a sir. It's not the same though. Bought that little land in Scotland. Remember how Kevin was like, buy that land?
I think that's a lord.
Oh, a lord, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't. I was just pretending. So
I really think we should get you. It's like you have to buy like a 1 foot by 1 foot square plot in Ireland. We should lord you, and you just be Lord Ian of Austin.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I don't know why I thought the title was Sir. I've been watching too many Sean Connery movies or something. No, so it's a Lord. So I am technically Lord Ian of Austin.
Lord Ian of Austin. I like it. I like it.
I think we permanently changed this because we have me, the knight, your knight in shining armor in real estate, Sir Ashely. So he's now the new Migo. And then Lord Ian of Austin. We have the Mullet Man coming on shortly. He is on his way. So don't worry. Yeah. Mullet Man Kevin Knight will be here.
I did not take his spot. He's coming. He's coming.
Yeah. He has not been ousted from he's on the edge of getting kicked off this show. I'm just saying it's getting close. I'm just kidding. He's probably watching. So let's talk about real estate real quick. Market crash, right? Sir Ashely did a pretty good video breaking down Reventure's whole entire channel, which is market crash. So let's just talk about market crash. Do we see this market crashing this year? And what are some of the things happening there? I'll let Sir Ashely jump on because he's his guest, but I do want to hear from Ian as well, because we are in a very hot Austin market, which is not stopping.
Yes. Well, I'm in Charlotte. That's my primary market. I do service North and South Carolina. But to answer your question, no, the market is not going to crash this year, even with interest rates rising. I do not foresee that happening this year. It's simple dynamic, supply and demand. That's what it comes down to. You can throw up all the fancy charts you want to and everything like that. Supply and demand. There's still so many buyers out there. And even with interest rates going up, 3.4, 4 is still very low historically. So I just don't see it.
So let's talk about your market, right? We're in the Austin market right now. I'll pull it up in a second. Right now, I looked, we're at 2,300 units available in the Austin market, which is the lowest I've seen for real estate active inventory. And think about this, 2,300 units in Austin doesn't actually, that's our MLS. So take about 30% of those are new construction, which aren't actually available, ready to sell, right? If you put in a contract on a new construction right now, it's not going to be done until July or maybe later. About 300 of those units are stuff that's not even in Austin. It's the South I-35 corridor, Killeen, way out east, way out west. So realistically, there's probably 1,400 units of actual purchase ready to go. And everything I see, Ian, correct me if I'm wrong, but every time I click on a listing, it's a stupid Zillow overpriced property. It's an Open Door overpriced property, a stupid Orchard. Sorry, I just said stupid. I didn't mean that Orchard is stupid. It's a Orchard listing or one of these other iBuyer programs. That's all I see available as far as inventory. Am I missing something? Is that what you're seeing in Charlotte? And is that what you're seeing, Austin? Ian of Austin.
Lord Ian of Austin.
Yeah, Lord.
So no, you're spot on, man. Like I'm actually doing a deal with Open Door right now, and it's because it was the only house that was actually left in this incredible neighborhood. And I'm not messing with you. It was priced tens of thousands over what the comps would support. And that was the conversation I had with the agent today. And so I think they're going to accept it because they realized that they had originally priced it almost 100,000 over. They dropped it 50 or 60,000. And now it's like almost competitive. And so we're going to pick that one up, but it's insane. And I've gone through a few situations where it's multiple offers over the last couple weekends. So I don't think, and even I had a listing in Gerald, it had 5 offers in Gerald. What? It's the supply and demand situation. I don't see it getting better anytime soon.
What about you, Sir Ashely?
Similar. Right now, I just pulled it up while you were talking. In Charlotte, active properties, single family and townhouses and condos, it's only 739. That will go in a couple weeks. Wow. So right now, the inventory is just crazy tight. And we're at that time of year where not many people list their properties because of the new year, or December, they don't list properties because of the holidays typically. And so it's just very tight right now. So when there's low inventory, more competition, and it just drives up prices.
Now when the Bloomberg reporter came out, we drove around, he kept hitting me with this, not hitting me physically, but hitting me with this. The fact that this year, right? Obviously right now we're interest rates are increasing. So that's kind of a concern for a lot of people. Right now there's zero inventory. I mean, it's so low, very low inventory. But he kept coming up with that all these builders have all this inventory coming up. So towards the middle of the year, we're going to see an abundance of inventory, plus sellers are going to list. Plus, I think he thought that we're going to probably see a lot of foreclosures, which we could, I guess. But do you see this inventory really jacking up next year and cooling off this market?
Go ahead, Ian.
Well, so what I'm running into is builders, while they are trying to build, I mean, they have the ability to build. It's not necessarily that they don't want to, it's that they can't find people that will help them build. They can't find these workers to build these houses. I have there's a builder, Perry Homes. You know, I love Perry Homes. I've done a lot of business with Perry Homes, and I reach out, and anywhere north right now, they're like, yeah, we're just not selling anything in January. We're not allowed to sell any. I was like, wait a minute, you mean you're not building new house? No, nothing at all in January. That's incredible for a builder to say.
Yeah.
What about you, Sir Ashley? Are you seeing, I mean, over the last year, builders in Austin have been nuts.
Yeah.
Wait, did you answer the question? Sorry. No, you didn't answer the question. So do you think that we're going to see an abundance of inventory next year?
I don't see an
This year.
abundance this year. I don't see an abundance, but I think there will be a slight uptick. I see. So for the past year and a half, builders have been very restrictive on how many lots they release every month. And for the main fact Ian mentioned is you can't find enough builders, enough workers, employees to work that the lots, the properties. But just I would say somewhere on the 11th, 12th day of the year, some builders have released 5, 6 homes, which doesn't seem like a lot for a community, but it's double than what they've done months prior. So I think there's going to be a slight uptick in inventory, but not enough to squelch demand to where it is an even market by any means. And with that said, real quick, even with the slight uptick in inventory, that same builder had properties sitting because they couldn't find an electrician for a month for some of their homes.
Yep.
So while they may be releasing more lots, they're not selling them at the pace they might want to because they can't find enough workers.
Yeah, and that's a common theme here in Austin as well. I mean, you know, I've railed against builders for the last year on this channel, and some of their, you know, bad practices, but at the same time, they have had here. I mean, I'm building a property in New Braunfels, which is about 45 minutes south of Austin. All the numbers made a ton of sense last year, right? We bought this place for $330. Right now, you could probably sell it for $350 the day it closes. The challenge I'm starting to run into is that we keep delaying and delaying and delaying. All my buyers that are new build this year have had delays for one reason or the other. And now interest rates are kicking up, and it's like, damn, that really sweet deal that I got on this house with interest rates going up, now kind of it's not as sweet as it once was. So one thing that I think, you know, that might hurt the market this year is interest rates. Do you see interest rates hurting the market as well?
You want me to go ahead, Ian?
Yeah, man. He's talking to you.
Oh,
I'm just here.
No, I mean, I have to defer.
You're a guest, man.
No, I don't see it. I see it will impact, well, here in Charlotte. Now, our prices aren't the same as your prices in Austin, right? But here in Charlotte, I don't see, even if interest rates go up to 4, I don't see that harming or hurting, slowing down the market any. It will impact the people on the margins. Now, I don't want to seem like I'm not sensitive to people in a certain budget, but for the most part, even with the increased interest rates, it's not going to impact everyone. It's going to still a huge demand because you have people selling from California, Utah. I had some people reach out to me today. They can buy 2 Charlotte homes with the, you know, the profits from their home they just sold. So they're like, it's still affordable. You tell them $500,000, they're like, sign me up. I'll do that right now. So
that's actually, you know, so this last year I had a lot of Californians buy with us. I had a lot of people from Seattle buy with us. You know, we had people from all over, and it's interesting how many not one-time buyers I've had at a lot of those clients, but 2, 3-time buyers out of a lot of those clients, because they'll sell a place for $1.5 million. They'll buy a really nice house for 800, and then they'll buy another investment property for 450.
Exactly.
So is that something you're seeing in the Charlotte area as well?
Most definitely. Most definitely. They're buying a brand new home for themselves, and then they're going ahead and buying an investment property just outside of Charlotte as well. And they're coming with cash where the average, the resident, the person here in Charlotte, they can't compete with that. So definitely seeing that.
Yeah, Adam, this is something we'll talk about as well
And
as
Master
Facebook.
Jedi, I would have to disagree. Charlotte over Raleigh, please.
Master Jedi, I don't like to use the word troll, but sometimes he can troll guests on here.
Yeah.
So in a very friendly way. So
No,
he's been
I'm
good
all
to you
for it.
so
I'm all
far.
for it. I like Raleigh. I lived in Raleigh. My parents live in Raleigh, so I'm going there. I'm going there tomorrow. So I love Raleigh.
Nice. Ian, what are your thoughts on the market, man? I mean, we're in the same market. I'm a little hesitant on the Austin market this year. I'm a little cautious, I guess, more than anything, but I don't see any reason why we're going to crash. So, I mean, with interest rates going up, with builders potentially releasing some more. In fact, I want to talk about builders specifically in a minute, but what are your thoughts on the market crashing this year?
The truth of the matter is the facts are very obvious. Austin has never crashed ever. And people always need a place to live. Now, Austin slowed down a little while, but it's never actually crashed. Other places, I mean, and it's how you define it, but really, I mean, Austin, because of the level of demand, because of the number of cash buyers, that's another really important point. They're not paying the same interest rate as you. If you're buying a brand new home and it's your first house. So if these people are buying in cash, I've got, I had one person put in an offer on a house and look at their asset sheet, $71 million. They're not worried about an interest rate. They're using that to hedge against the interest rates.
Exactly.
So, and we've got full neighborhoods that are popping up that are all rentals. You cannot buy a house in that neighborhood.
Yep.
You can only rent a house in that neighborhood, new construction. So while I agree with Sir Ashely, and I'm waiting to hear what you're going to say, Jeremy, but I think it might not be as aggressive, but there's no crash. It might slow a little bit, but I'm not seeing it yet.
Real quick, Jeremy, before we get your answer.
Yeah.
I think we need to define, because people hear slow down or not as much appreciation and automatically think crash. When I don't think crash. So I feel like we might need to define what a crash is.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I think if going back to the channel that we referenced at the beginning, which is Reventure, a lot of people on there are sycophants about a crash, right? Yeah. And that term on that channel gets used so loosely. And there's times that I hear, okay, the Austin market's going to dip 35%. It's we're going to see it. There's going to be a crash, and then we say slow down. In a typical season, we see January, February, March, prices start to increase. It gets up to August and then it drops down. Now, how big that drop down in August is going to be is relative to how quick the market goes up. And in a second, I'll pull up a chart showing the Austin market. But this last year, we saw prices get out of control around July, and then all of a sudden they drop back down almost $40,000 from peak to peak. And now they're on their way back up. Yeah. To define a crash, I think it's such a subjective term, but how they use it on that channel, like a 10% drop, okay, that's the crash. And then I hear, oh, wait, that's not the crash. A crash takes years. Okay, well, which is it?
In that aspect, this is where I have a tough time as well, because let's say 10% drop. Okay, so that puts us back in May?
Yep.
Of last year, and people were complaining about prices being high then. So not only are you talking about, okay, prices are back in May, all right, May prices, but then you have a higher interest rate as well. So which one do you want? Do you want, Lord, you can't have both. You can't have something more affordable, but then high interest rates, you're still going to be paying the same amount of money.
the thing about interest rates is if you look at historically at the data, the number of units sold doesn't decrease very much.
No.
People always need a place to live. And in fact, as interest rates rise, some people get FOMO and buy quicker.
That's what we've been seeing in Charlotte.
Yeah.
As interest rates have increased, especially in December, we have a 18% increase in pendings.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people are having FOMO right now.
The biggest problem in Austin is we're running out of Tito's, apparently. Yeah. That's a travesty. You're gonna have to switch over to Dripping Springs vodka, which I think is better, but whatever. Let me change this back up. So here's a prime example. So I charted. I'm probably one of the only people that's actually charted the last 3 years in the market. But if we look at this red line's 2019, which is pretty reasonable of what we see in a normal cycle of the market. If we look at the blue line's 2021, which it was a crazy year because in January we had no freaking inventory. Guess what? No freaking inventory again. I mean, I think we're lower inventory right now than we were last year. Yeah. And so, I have a lot of sellers that are getting ready and I'm like, hey, we could wait till April or May to put your home on the market this year. But if you want to get in and get out and not have to worry about the rest of this year, what happens with this interest rate thing? I mean, there's no inventory. So if we're pricing right, we're going to see multiple offers, basically to what Ian's point is. But this is what I was talking about. We got up to about a high of 575 and dropped to 525. That's a $50,000 dip. And now we're back at 540. So I think what we see this year is this is going to be this similar trend, but how big this jump is right here, it depends on how fast we go up. So that's where I'm looking at. I mean, I don't think we're going to see a crash in the second half of the year, but I think we'll definitely see a slowdown. Where will prices be? Will they flatten out to this? There's not this big dive, but they flatten out. That's where I'm kind of caught between looking at the data.
Now, my biggest, not biggest, but what I am foreseeing is as interest rates increase, you're going to have people who refinanced in the past 2 years. They're not going to want to sell their home and get a larger home and have much more substantial mortgage payment because the interest rate have increased. So I see that's also going to put a restraint on inventory because you're going to see less listings hit the market. So again, supply and demand, less listings, you're going to have the higher price continue going up.
You have a lot of people that they made so much that all they had to worry about were capital gains if they sold. But now you're looking at it like, okay, if I sell or if I refi, that's a big deal. They're not going to want to take that hit on the interest rate.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did a video with Jason Walter, and I kind of interwove it into a video about my kind of idea of what's going to happen in the market. But, he made the point, and this is this point that I've been making for a while, and it's to your point, is that so many people refied. Why the hell would they sell? They're better off just buying another home and keeping that house as a rental because the interest rate is so low. I mean, my house is a prime example. My mortgage on my house was about $2,600. We refied. It's now like with taxes and everything, $1,900. If I were to rent my house out, it's going to rent for about $4,000 a month. That's $2,000 profit. $2,100. Well, it's $1,600 with taxes, like $2,000. So $2,000 profit a month. Now I can go buy a new house and take $1,500 of that and roll it into my new mortgage that I have in my new property. That's $1,500 less on my mortgage than what I would have had. So that actually buys down my other mortgage. Yeah. So why the hell would I sell this property? I'm better off renting it. And that's what I think is going to happen and why we see inventory stay so low. And those people that have been on forbearance, those people that have not been making their payments, those are people who have been struggling. Well, shit, this is your year to sell right here. This is your chance.
And you think about what Sir Ashely said earlier, like how many, and I know you've experienced this, Jeremy. People are coming here and they're not buying one, but they're buying one and then buying another just because they know that the market is where it's at. And they'll rent it right on out.
And I'm seeing a lot of this right here. My clients that are doing that, we're buying Airbnbs. I have a client that sold a business. I don't want to say the business it was, but phenomenal business. I love it. I've actually asked them to be an advertiser in the past because it's a men's healthcare product. Pretty funny stuff. But they bought their house. Then they bought a really nice, I don't want to say how expensive, really nice Airbnb in Dripping or Wimberley. And now we just bought another property in our neighborhood that they're going to do like 3-month STRs on that are going to be like $5,000 a month fully furnished, probably $5,500 a month fully furnished, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. You've got to be careful about where in Austin you're trying to pull that.
Yeah. And that's the problem with some of the, and maybe let me ask you about the Charlotte. Austin's very, very particular about Airbnb. So it's really hard to get an Airbnb. And if you buy an Airbnb in a neighborhood, it becomes even harder because HOAs don't allow Airbnbs. So do you find that same thing in Charlotte where they're not allowing Airbnbs like they are here in Austin?
That is happening, I would say, in the last 2-3 years. And most recently they've just restricted Airbnbs. Even my own community put out a notification, I believe in November, saying just to remind you, there is no Airbnbs because one popped up in our community. So no, it is common to where it's more common to have Airbnbs and it be allowed over by the coast, by the beaches and stuff like that. But in Charlotte or Charlotte proper, or the greater Charlotte area, and even Raleigh, it's tougher if you're in the neighborhood with the HOA.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's it's good. We had Ian and I had a client that came and said, hey, we want to, they had a very specific idea in mind for an Airbnb. I'm like, I don't know where you're going to find that.
Yeah.
But I don't know where you're going
to
to
guess what?
do that.
We found it. So
you found it?
Oh yeah.
So they purchased the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And they're going to make it the Airbnb that they wanted.
Yeah.
Is it in an HOA?
Yeah. That's an offline conversation, but yeah.
As I say, is the HOA approved that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
Well, good. I don't want to blow up their spot, but the address is
right.
One thing that we've seen in our market, and I think this just goes back to labor in general, is just finding contractors to do anything. I think Zillow ran into this buzzsaw pretty hard. They didn't anticipate not finding people to actually, fix their ugly flips. Are you running into stuff with contractors as well?
Most definitely. So as said before, I'm an investor as well. And even people that I've worked with for years, it's tough for me to get them to come finish a project. So no, it's definitely tough to find quality contractors that are gonna just stay the course.
I've got a project that's supposed to go live 3 weeks ago. That's where we're at. It was supposed to be listed, and it was going to be a price setter in the neighborhood. We had all these grand plans, and guess what? Nah, it's still 3 weeks out, I think.
Yeah, it's is your contractor talking to you at least though? Is he informing you what's going on?
Every once in a while.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like you're walking a fine line because I don't want to piss him off even more, but the same token, like, come on, brother. You gotta
well, and so you got to realize it's not just that. It's also like if you have to pull permits or anything, it's that kind of stuff that slows things down.
True.
That's been the biggest issue in Austin. And I think this is so everybody jumped to the fact, or, that one person we talked about, Reventure, said one of the issues with Austin, number one, is rental prices haven't caught up. So there's that issue. But then they said, oh, look at all of the new build starts. Well, you can't look at new build starts because new build start isn't actually a moving product. It means it's to a certain point. And a lot of these builders that we saw this year, they rammed through all of these plans and permits because it was taking way longer to get permits run and completed. In fact, at one point, the city was trying to hire an additional 40 people in the middle of COVID just to keep up with permits. And, I did a pool during that time. Pool permits which normally take 2 weeks to get, took us 6 weeks to come back.
Wow.
So that's part of the problem, that you can't just say, okay, new build starts, look at all the new build starts, they're going to crash the market, when 14 months on an 8-month build for my rental property, New Braunfels. And on top of that, my pool, which should have taken 4 months, 5 months at most, took a year to build. So that sucks. But I'm not going to complain. I have a pool now, and I think it works. Kevin, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, Jeremy. Sorry I was late, bro. I got here as quick as I could.
How's that new girlfriend?
Which one, he says?
No.
I don't know, man. We ran into each other, and
by new girlfriend, do you mean all of my 12-hour days that I've been working this week?
Yeah, your new wife, real estate.
Bro, it's been crazy, actually. I kid you not, I've been working. I left the house at 8 this morning. I just got back, and I still have about 2 hours worth of stuff I need to do tonight before I go to bed. So it's awesome. I love it, man. I thrive on this. I feel like if I'm not working at this capacity, I just feel like I'm not doing myself justice at the moment. It takes a lot of effing caffeine, I'll tell you that much. Too much, actually, if I'm going to be quite frank. But
yeah, then you can't sleep.
Yeah. I can still sleep.
So 2 questions. Number 1, show us the mullet. Is it still
It's here?
Okay.
In all its glory. Yeah.
All right.
I like it.
I had it trimmed back quite a bit, to be honest with you.
See, Sir Ashely, everybody has to have their thing. You see that?
I see that. I see it.
So for those that are that weren't here earlier on, Sir Ashely goes, "Why are you wearing your hat?" Because he saw that I actually had hair.
Yeah. And I was saying, like, because I don't have hair. And I was saying, like, if I had that head of hair, I would be showing it off.
But I'm a short guy, and I get lost in crowds if people don't see something, and my hair doesn't stick up that high. So
yeah, you gotta you just have to have your thing, sets you off a little
Kevin,
bit.
you're like 7'3", so you don't have to worry. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
You know what? One of my friends told me the other day, a kid I play video games with online. I've actually never met them. They thought I was
it me?
No, it was like somebody else, but they thought I was like, and I'm not saying that this is short because I'm not, but they thought I was like 5'8". And I was like,
5'8".
Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm actually like 6'2". So not that that's massive either, but it's definitely not 5'8".
The problem is you wear these giant boots with heels on them.
I know. That's not the situation. Yeah, I know. But
you should see him running on a treadmill in those boots, man. That's why he hates cardio.
Yeah, I actually don't run anymore. I just walk. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, dude, those knees are running out on you.
Low intensity, steady state.
All right, so I'm sure you were catching the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I watched it all.
Thoughts on the market and where it's going to go this year. And I want to get back to Sir Ashely and talk a little bit more about Charlotte.
Yeah, I won't take too much of that time. Obviously, appreciate that. Thanks, Sir Ashely, for being here tonight and keeping everyone entertained as well. I mean, I'm with you guys. I actually have a lot of the same sentiments that you guys have about this. Inventory is actually super dry. Ian, you came up in a Perry Home sales rep conversation the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Where were you at?
I was at Colony Bastrop.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Cameron or Kyle, right?
Yeah, it was Cameron.
Yeah,
he mentioned your name, and I was like, I know Ian, right? It's like, oh my gosh. So pretty small world. Anyways, but you're right. They're not selling. I mean, at the 80-foot lots, they weren't selling anything. They refused to sell anything. Mm-hmm. And then I talked to another builder, Weston Homes. They refused to sell anything either. Mm-hmm. And so like a lot of people are metering the real estate, right? Like they're keeping it held back because they know, well, and today, yesterday we executed a contract on a house over there. And today they raised their prices by $40,000 actually on that same exact house.
Yep.
So, that's like, you tell me, is the market slowing down? You tell me. There's no houses available. Jeremy, you nailed it. The only houses that are available are Open Door in Zillow. In fact, I just came from a Zillow house that we're going to put an offer in on because it was one of the very few that's still available. So I don't know, man. I'm a data guy and I don't see the data yet. So
And
Data
let me
tells
ask,
me-
that property, is it spectacular or is it just
No, it needs updates, but the reality is my clients have an open mind. Not everybody does. These folks, I think it's a good fit for them because they have an open mind. They see the floor plan through the terrible finishes. But I'm actually listing this house in Round Rock tomorrow or Friday. And the only other comp we have that's active in the neighborhood is an open door listing that is legitimately $50,000 overpriced and has been for months. And I'm like, no wonder these guys took these open door offers. They made out like a bandit, right? They made so much money. So
yeah.
And then you look at those listings, they're on the market for 100 days, 200 days.
which is crazy.
yeah. Too long for this market.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. There's your sign, right?
The worst ones were Zillow actually did, from what I saw on their listings, they actually made improvements to the properties before they listed them. Open Door was just like middle finger to the sky. I'm just throwing this thing right back on the market just to see what happens. So,
yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't think it's going anywhere. I'll tell you why too. Like my buyer demand is higher now. I haven't stopped working since January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
My buyer demand January 1st is as high as it would be in March, April, and May. And we have half as many homes on average to sell. You tell me.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, I did not watch his latest video, but it said something about there's no buyers.
What?
Like in the title or something.
Who said that?
The thing.
You don't want to know.
Reventure.
Oh,
You don't
Reventure.
use
So
that
I
name.
didn't watch it, so I don't want to.
Voldemort.
I don't want to seem like I'm talking about it because I don't know exactly the data he used and all that. But just the headline, "There's no buyers," that couldn't be further from the truth right now.
Yeah.
Like I have more buyers hitting me up in the past, like you said, 10 days than I had all of December.
Here's what's interesting. You said that person used "there are no buyers," but you questioned where the data is coming from. I'll say this. I do know realtors out there that are like struggling, that are really having a hard time. So they might not have buyers, and maybe that's part of the conversation, wherever the data is coming from.
But also being a real estate agent, it's a very low bar, right?
It is.
So
It is.
I mean, a lot of people got their license throughout this pandemic because they couldn't do anything else
in 2021.
Yeah,
40,000 new realtors.
Wow.
I always love the meme. It's like, I got my real estate license. Now what?
Let's just clarify though. It's a low bar to call yourself a realtor, right?
Yeah,
Because you got the license.
Yeah.
No, the buyer is set high if you want to make it more than a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, to get your license, it's a very low bar.
It's low
to
bar,
actually know what you're doing and to help clients and to get clients, that takes skill.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Agreed.
And to win these multiple offers, let's be honest, like a lot of these realtors, they just go, they lose 3 or 4 offers for a client. They don't prep their client to begin with. Like, hey, this is what, and here's what I find interesting is a lot of people watch my channel, they come to me, and then some of them are actually really surprised when they get in the market. They're like, oh, wow, we didn't expect it to be this crazy. Yeah. And then, or maybe they were a referral. But I find, there's probably like of 10 clients, 2 are just like so shocked about the market. 8 listen to everything we say on here. And when we go to start writing multiple offers, they're like, all right, what else can we do in this offer to make it sweeter? So I find that the educated buyer has a much better chance with a much better educated agent in this market versus just finding the first buyer agent that comes across and saying, oh, you can write offers for me and open doors. Perfect. That's the bar. So that's where the bar is set low. The bar is set high when you get into a market like this, when there's nothing freaking to buy except for Zillow trash and open door crap. And then what is it? Okay. Hey, I'm going to Kevin, I'm going to go show you this Zillow property. It needs a lot of work. Well, Zillow Kevin, how much do you think this is going to cost? Well, I don't know. 50 grand. All right. Well, when you've done this a while, Sir Ashely can attest to this because I'm pretty sure you said you do investing. Yeah. When we walk into a property, we can go, okay, look, this is going to run you this. You're going to have shortages. Instead of it being 3 weeks, it's going to take 6 weeks. And that's what you're going to see. Are you prepared for that?
Yeah.
Right.
I give my clients, anybody can give the rainbows, right? I give them just the truth of what to expect when you go into it. first negotiating, but then also in the property. If it needs some work, we go over the numbers, and because we've been through this, like as somebody that I don't know how to do the work, but I know how much it costs to have it done. so yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, I'm always having to put in a buffer because I feel like what costs. I mean, thinking about it, what costs were last
Yeah,
year
that's
are
hard.
not this year's costs.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to buy a Porsche, but that $120,000 Porsche is now 160. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's 2
agreed.
years old. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's 2 years old. It's not even brand new.
How's it more?
Somebody else has already
No.
had the opportunity to fart in the seat I wanted
Yeah.
to
Got stains in it.
buy. Yeah.
That's
What's crazy, Ian? If we were to go sell our Teslas right now, we'd actually probably make money on our Tesla.
Oh no.
And they're
I
a
already
year
did.
old.
I already checked to see. I'd make like 30 grand. I'm not even kidding.
I've checked as well.
You got a Tesla too?
I do.
Ashley?
Cool
Y'all.
Kids Club.
Which
Cool Kids
which one do you
Club.
have?
I have the Y 7-seater.
Nice.
Yeah.
I won't be
Nice.
joining y'all anytime soon. I actually bought a car this week.
Oh, what'd you
So,
get? Yeah, a Buick,
Really?
a Regal.
Bro, I got tired of looking at these cars that I wanted, and I didn't want anything like in that $50,000 range because like there's like a million things, and I was like, I just don't want that. I have a truck. I like my truck. Everything I liked was like, just like you're saying, was like it was like $140,000. Everything I wanted. I was like, well, let me look at this. And it was like, well, if I get my stuff, it's like, I'm not spending 140. So you know what I found? I found
Nissan
a
Leaf.
drug dealer's car. I got a 1991 Mercedes 190E sedan with 200,000 miles on it. And I paid less than 10 grand. And I'm going to drop a Supra motor into that bad boy and twin turbo it. I'll be all in for under 20 grand. And I'll be smoking these $150,000 cars. Like I just got sick and tired of looking at that stuff all the time.
Hold on. You'll smoke them all except the Teslas. You got to be clear.
I will
You're not going to
smoke
smoke
a
the Tesla, not
Yeah,
off
it's
the line.
Tesla.
You might catch us at the end, but you're not going to get us off the line.
I paid for that boost, man.
A 2JZ Supra engine twin turboed. I mean, I might put money on that one, bro.
Now, how much would that car cost in the metaverse, Kevin? That's the question.
More than what I paid for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at buying some metaverse parcels this week. Minimum's now up to 3.65 ETH. So we're talking about 15
I
grand.
mean, people talking about paying 400 grand to live next to Snoop Dogg, man. How much does it cost to live next to Jay-Z? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Right? Let's
One day. Well, this is happening really fast,
I'm
actually.
gonna go live next to Kanye.
Metaverse land's increasing really, really rapidly right now. So, just so you're aware.
People are hearing about it.
I'm over here trying to buy acres to go hunting in the real world, and I can't even do that in the fake world.
Well, why don't you just go in the fake world and do it?
You need to get a. I can't do it. Get a.
I just
Meta
filled
Quest.
I just filled
Right
up a freezer full of deer meat today. You can't fill up your real freezer with fake deer meat. It doesn't work that way.
Here's the thing: you gotta like get ready, and then you gotta like. First off, it's cold. I know when you go hunting, and it is never warm. That's the
we live in
only
Texas, man. It was
I
like
was gonna
94.
say, time out. Like people complain when I say it's cold. I know it's like y'all can't be that cold.
Oh, stop! It gets to like 40.
It was 50
at night.
40.
It was
Yeah, it's
28
been
this
40
morning
degrees.
here
Yeah.
in Charlotte.
Oh, burr.
Yeah. Granted, it was only chilly until
Sir Ashely,
10, 11, but
when I left Chicago, literally the day I was leaving, it was a blizzard and it was negative 20 degrees. And I arrived in Austin 3 days later. You know, I made my stops and it was 78 degrees. Ever since then, I was like, I never want to be this cold in my life.
This is actually straight facts right here. If it's below 60, it's freezing here.
oh man,
the moment it gets below 72 in Austin, it's like, oh, where did this cold front come from? So
this is what my wife got me for Christmas: a coat that heats up because I don't play this. This is my 60-degree coat.
Oh man. Oh man, y'all living the life.
I do like it,
man. I
though.
loved it.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna have to go over to Cosmic, and you're gonna have to wear that jacket. I don't care if it's 92 outside. I want to see it.
Boy, that taco truck at Cosmic has my heart right now.
So I have a client who bought in those condos in the back right behind that place.
Good.
And I go visit them all the time. I'm not.
Mhm.
They think
Yeah.
I'm their like favorite people, even though they are
Right.
family.
I just want to
They are
say,
very they are special to me. But man, those tacos.
It's a
Oh,
taco.
would you look at the time? My
Yeah.
order's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
They got the best handmade corn tortillas. I'm gonna be honest. So.
Yeah, I'm down with that place. If you ever at Cosmic Coffee, look for me because I will be there. All right, sir. Actually, let me ask you a question because I don't ever think we asked this question.
Okay.
Comparing the Austin market to the Charlotte market, right now, if you were to buy a house in Austin, the median price is around 540, 545, depending on if you're buying in Austin or the MSA is about 480, 490 around there. If I want to come by a nice 3.2, 2,000 square feet, newish, 2010 build, what am I looking at in the Charlotte area?
They're gonna list it for around about 375.
Okay.
375. You'll probably win it. Definitely win it at just under 4. It's gonna be very competitive. I was just in this situation. You're gonna have about 26 offers
Jeez.
right now. So yeah, that's where we're at.
So that brings me to something. Somebody asked us the other day, and we answered this on the channel. Obviously, our market's different than Charlotte. Our contracts are different. But what are some of the things you're doing in your market to win a multiple offer?
Yeah, to win a multiple offer, one, it helps when the other agents know who you are, right? Having that relationship with the other agent, and knowing that when you reach out to them, they know that you can get a deal done. Having that confidence goes far. So that's one thing. Make sure you have an agent that has good relationships with most people. Then it's about positioning your offer. When you reach out to that agent, find out exactly what the seller wants. What are they looking for? Do they need to close in 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Do they want to hold on to that HD antenna, which I mentioned that because it was an offer we just put in and won. And then also due diligence. I'm not sure if you have due diligence.
we do.
Deposit and earnest money deposit.
Yep.
Do you have both of those?
Yep.
Okay. So a strong due diligence doesn't hurt. Typically it's around 5 figures right now. And
Hold on. Roll it
Five
back.
figures. Say that again.
Roll it back.
What's
5 figures for.
So we have what's called an earnest money,
yeah.
right? And that goes to title, and that's held at title.
Yep.
We have what's called an option, which buys you the time to back out, and that's the due diligence time frame. So what does that cost? Right now, it's about $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, depending on what you do.
a good offer. I've seen people come in trying to do 200 and 300. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah, no. So in North
Go back
Carolina,
to 2019.
I know.
yeah, in North
2019
Carolina,
called. Want your option money back.
Yeah. Our offers consist of 3 things. You have the purchase price, you have a due diligence deposit, and then the earnest money deposit. Now, earnest money, like in Texas, it goes to the attorney's office. So that goes there. But then the due diligence deposit, that is your good faith. Basically, yeah, you're giving that money to the seller. You're writing a check to the seller. You're not getting that back regardless.
Wow.
So we're talking, you're around $7,500 to $10,000 on a competitive property in that price point, because you have 26 offers. And I'll be perfectly honest, I had a client with a $365,000 property. We put $100,000 due diligence down. I didn't advise against it, but we were secure. We knew exactly what to expect with the property and everything like that. It was brand new, well, within a couple years old. So he felt confident moving forward. So yeah, you're not going to get that back. It's non-refundable.
Like you said, the thing is, if it's the right house in the right neighborhood, and you want this house, house. Maybe you had some friends that lived in the neighborhood, so they know about the house, right? That level of confidence can help you win over, what was it, 26 other offers?
Yeah, well, this one had 44, the one I was talking about just now.
Crazier, yeah. And I say that to people. People get mad if I'm like, listen, you might have to risk $1,000. And they're like, but what? I'm like, no. You don't understand. You have to. This is a risk. You're spending $500,000 or more. It's a small risk to pay.
I feel like that, I'm thinking about what we're saying here and what the ripple effect looks like for the rest of this year. Number one, we've basically said there's no new construction available right now. I think there's going to be, we saw some shady things last year. We're going to probably see even shadier things this year. Now we're talking about interest rates going up and then how we've had to write offers in the past. Think about this. If you were an FHA buyer or you weren't putting 20% down or a large amount of money down, you're even more screwed right now. And if you had listened last year, let's say when the market kind of changed a little bit and softened up in August, September, October, and if you didn't listen to people like me say, this is the time to buy and jump into the market when it was a little bit slower and you had some movability, you're so screwed right now. And if you'd listened to people like Reventure and said, wait for the market to crash, you're even more screwed right now. It's going to cost you so just simply interest rates, you're going to pay more.
That's what's so frustrating. That is what is so frustrating because I have people reaching out like, hey, I waited. I was not just watching him, but listening to other people on the sidelines. And I'm like, they come back with their pre-approval and it's like around 3:30 right now. And I'm like, that's not really going to get you what you want. You want a nice home in a good area, good schools. That's not, it's not going to get it.
2019 called and wants your offer.
Yeah.
For those of you that know the Austin market, I had to drive, and I drove to Harker Heights yesterday because I wanted to show a client a house in their same budget.
Did they end up buying that house or put an offer?
They ended up buying one in Jarrell.
So they stuck with the one in Jarrell.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
But Harker Heights is an additional like 30 to 40 minutes north. It's so far. And I said, do you really want to do this to your family?
Yeah.
And, when you start to evaluate that, it's like, yeah, but we work remote and all that. But as soon as you don't, like, you have no guarantee. And then if you work remote, you need good internet. Right, Sir Ashely?
Yes.
You have to have that.
Yes.
I think Sir Ashely has usurped Ian for camera quality, by the way.
Yeah, I've got to say.
You're on that 8K right now. Ian's just on 4K.
8K.
That's Jeremy's.
I'm on 1440 and Jeremy's on 360p.
Yeah, because Jeremy won't pay for the upgrade for StreamYard. That's why.
I'm just
it's throttling it.
I'm just serious.
Is that, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. He asked about the $100,000 going toward closing cost. Yes, it's
Aaron?
going toward the purchase price.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're getting credit for it as if you would have put down money with your lender, but it's still $100,000 that you're not, even if you decided after you did inspections that you don't want to move forward. Well, one, I told him, I don't care what the inspections say, you're moving forward. Right?
Yeah, if pre-printing $100,000, yeah.
Yeah. But even if you're not moving forward, like, you're not getting that money back. So
yeah. So that's kind of like how our option money works. We've done, I don't want to give away too much of my secret sauce, but we've written offers without even an option period recently. Just to win it. So basic, and then on top of there, okay, that's fine. You're going to back out and lose what, $5,000? No, we got to still write $20,000 to $30,000 for earnest money. So if you're thinking about $1 million property, that's $10,000 as earnest, right? About 1%. But now you're looking at 3%.
Yeah.
4%, 5%. That's on $1 million property. Now convert that to a $500,000 property. Now you're looking at like 6 or 8%.
Yeah.
For earnest money. Granted, that goes towards your down payment, like you said, but still, like, if for some reason your lender, and that's it, we haven't even talked about how important it is to have a freaking good lender.
Yes.
Think about that. I had a client that was supposed to close right before December, and it was just a snowball of crap because the lender couldn't do it and had to move over. This wasn't one of my lenders. We had to keep it. Can you imagine having 30 grand sitting there and the lender just drops the ball?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Have you all I like working with local lenders because they can get stuff done. Some of the big box lenders almost cost similar situation, almost cost one of my clients a deal. They were dead set on going with this lender, and they kept delaying and delaying and delaying. And he almost lost his due diligence deposits, his earnest money and everything, simply because of the lender. How do you all feel about local lenders and everything in Austin?
It's extremely important to have somebody that when you're submitting an offer, that it goes back to your confidence statement.
Yeah.
You're submitting an offer. I can say, I've done 60 deals with this lender. He's going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like being able to say that is pretty powerful. I had that conversation this morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Against Open Door. Like, get out of here. I don't even care. I mean, I care, but come on. You had the house overpriced. Take it.
A lot of Brian's getting bad names out here. Don't be a Brian.
I like that
Kevin,
comment that Joe put. Did you see that with the billboards? I kind of wanted to address that.
Well,
so
yeah,
what happened?
how quickly have those prices changed, and they haven't had time to paint over the 300 and write 400?
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't want to, right? That's a lead generation source for them. You have all these people that think that might still be realistic, or it might be a deal, and so they're going to go in and try to get this to happen. They're like, "Oh, I could get a house for that." They've changed. Like
There's
and those are from
builder.
first phase, and these are 20 phases later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, there's a builder that does something like that here in Charlotte, where the first two homes, they're in that starter 300 or low range.
Yep.
Actually 200s. But then right after that, after those first two contracts, it just skyrockets. It goes crazy. So, but they keep that 200 sign up.
Well, that's the thing. Dinosaur D says it's misadvertising, right? Like, I think in the United States, as long as you put some kind of nomenclature at the bottom with an asterisk, you're fine. And nobody's going to read that. But also, they're not misadvertising. The base price is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they say low 300s, but the base price is $399,999 rounded up.
And then you have to add the lot premium. Yep. And then you have to add any upgrades. Wait. You don't want carpet in your kitchen? Okay, well, then you're going to have to pay for that too.
What, you want running water?
I know.
They're just waiting for somebody to say something. They're going to just keep doing it until somebody says something.
Yeah.
Like if nobody ever says something, they're like, if somebody did say something, they'd be like, oh, oopsie, I guess we'll change that before we get in trouble. You know what I mean?
But
fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you do the you all or the y'all?
It depends. It just depends. I try not to sound. I'm from upstate New York, so I have people watch. So it's you all, but y'all. I don't know. It depends on when you catch me. How tired I am.
It depends on how much I've had to drink, how thick the Texan comes out of me as well. It's what's pretty funny is, I'm in Austin. I've been here 10 years now. And the first year I was here, I started saying y'all like sarcastically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all, and my wife and I would giggle. Y'all. And then I remember like in a straight up conversation, I was like, blah, blah, blah. So what do y'all think? Wait, what did I just say? Did I just say that? Like, and then now I can't stop saying it. It's
Well, there's y'all and there's all y'all and all y'alls and y'all.
All y'all guys. Yeah.
Yuns.
Yeah.
There's many of them.
You got a hard out, which is 8:00. So any last words, Sir Ashely, before you jump out? Or 8:00 our time.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate the opportunity. Jumping on with you all. I've watched you all. I'm a fan. So no, thank you for allowing me to come on your platform. I appreciate it.
It's fine.
I want to see show of hands. Jeremy claims Fresno. No, I don't claim Fresno. No, not anymore. It's Visalia, but still. Yeah, so I want to see a show of hands in the comments. Who believes that we should have Sir Ashely back? I think he makes a pretty fine fourth Migos, so we might have to have you back more than once. What do you think? Let's hear from the comments. Sir Ashely, I'll let you jump out here. We won't say anything
One
bad
second.
about you, I promise.
We got Dinosaur D real quick.
Yep. Okay, all right. We
really
need
know.
to check Sir Ashely's credibility here. How does he really know Charlotte?
Yeah. I know all of those people. Actually, I went to Georgetown University, so Alonzo Mourning is actually a friend of mine.
Oh,
and I'm not just saying he's
Double
like
dip.
a friend. He like I was part of the Georgetown University basketball team, so he's like actually a friend. We met. I saw him just last year. We were on a Zoom call every single month as well. So
that's awesome, man.
Muggsy
Very
Bogues,
cool.
Awesome,
Larry
man.
Johnson, Brittany Bogues, Muggsy's daughter is also a friend. So yeah.
That's cool.
I'm real Charlotte.
That's cool.
You got to do the thing, you know.
there will not be any of that.
Well,
But no, I
dang,
appreciate it,
Thank
guys.
you for making it, man.
That's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm sorry we had to bump a couple times, but I appreciate you jumping in with us.
No, I appreciate it as well, and feel better.
All right, thank you.
All
Yeah,
I'll talk to you later.
the
See you, Sir
COVID's
Ashely.
leaving my body as we speak.
Bye.
All right, there we go. So, okay, let's talk about Austin and all the good things. Austin, sad to see him go because that was a lot of fun. But
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
let's talk about some of these builders. I got a phone call yesterday from a builder rep friend of mine who I've known for a while, calling me basically saying, "Hey, I had," and I don't want to give out any too much information here.
Yeah,
I don't need her to get in trouble, but she got fired, let go. She had like close to 100 closings coming up.
Oh,
And the only thing that she can think of why they let her go is to save that money, because right before that, their incentives, the person that takes over your contract, instead of getting, whatever amount, it dropped down to like $500. So basically she's like, yeah, it was like $500,000 in commissions so
How can they do that to her?
yeah, but they can't. If she's the procuring cause, they can't. Just cut her off.
but this is builders.
The builder,
builders,
she's an
different.
employee.
Yeah, they don't.
She's an employee.
Yeah.
So
it's
yeah,
different.
so they changed the pay structure right before and they let her go.
Wow.
So that
No.
so we've seen some crazy things happen over this last year. I hate to talk out of turn and say that we're going to see craziness happen, but what are some things maybe you're seeing with builders right now, and what are you anticipating seeing?
Not that this is kind of the biggest deal, but I've had clients that they're like, wait, we don't even get gutters? Like it's little stuff like that builders need to remove to save some costs, right? And you can't, it's not even that they don't give you gutters, you can't even order them. And some of that's for supply chain and everything, but I've seen window manufacturers change. You used to have those cool little windows that you can pull down and all that to clean outside. They're like, nah, we've got to go this route for supply reasons. But really, it's because it's half the cost.
Yeah, a certain unnamed builder did the same thing with water softener loops.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going to remove those now too. Like,
Yeah.
you can't
People
even
don't
get
really
them.
need them.
So I guess my question, so yeah, these things, obviously things you can put in your home, they're going to start taking off, but
So
I'm starting to get worried about what we see, because number one, there is no inventory.
well, I've got more
Oh, go
escalation
ahead.
clauses.
Ooh.
Those are going
Do
into
you think
more
we're going to see those come
contracts.
as a prevalent thing?
More builders are adding escalation clauses in there with the preface that, oh, but we've never actually used it. So it's important to pay attention to that.
We did a Sitterly contract this week that was very clean, actually. No funky business, no escalation clauses, very loose. I mean, it was nice actually and refreshing to see that they did something like that, to be honest with you.
Certainly where at?
Bastrop Colony.
Man, you're just out there in the bass shop.
I mean, it's the info bond, brother.
Yeah.
Taylor to Del Valley right now, and Bastrop is not too far from that whole area. So
You're
plus
right.
they're improving the this is off topic. They're just improving the traffic flow from the airport to Bastrop right now. So I think it's going to happen a lot faster as people come into town. You know, one of the things I did notice too, like I saw somebody on like a TikTok comment or an Instagram comment mention that, you know, I'll say this for later. Let's keep it with the builder. I don't want to go off topic.
Well, tell me what it's about, and that way I don't
Yeah.
forget.
I think people like the free flowing
I'll
conversation
remember.
too.
Well, I mean, it's basically what I was going to say is like somebody mentioned about their dream was buying a condo off of Ben White. And I was like, what are you even talking about? Buying a brand new condo off of Ben White. And then I realized like the
There's a
Austin
ton of
but the Austin that people see today is not the Austin that we've been selling for a long time. Like we have to be really understanding that, like having in our mind set that this, like when somebody says this is what I want, and we're like, oh, based on the previous thing that we've known, this is where you should potentially expand your search. That's not even relevant anymore. What people are seeing is completely different, and where they're looking at neighborhoods that maybe before we would not associate with a certain type of housing or, you know, a certain price point now is. And so I'm very flexible before offering my information or my opinion on things like that, to be like, you know what, the landscape is changing very, very quickly. You know what I mean?
It's kind of funny you say that, because I had a client who they ended up buying South Austin, but I kept telling them like there's some condos right off of South Congress, and I was like, man, you need to buy over here. Right next to St. Elmo. And I'm like, you need to, like, we looked at condos over there, and then him and he hawed and he didn't buy it. Looking at it now, I'm like, that was I wish more people would listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm not like, I get that you think that we're trying to make money off of you. And yes, we do make money when you buy a home, but there are some good intention. People are saying when you just buy in this area because this is a good investment. And
two of the most exciting projects are actually, one of them's there, Jeremy, that I really like right now. My two favorite projects I think are going on right now in that regard are the Congress Lofts, which is the new one next to St. Elmo, next to the Yard, and then One Oak, which is also by Intercorp at the corner of First Street and Live Oak.
What's crazy is, like, you think about all those condos and everything, people buying, you know, in a condo building, right? Attached condos in a building. Like, people used to buy downtown. That's where you bought condos in a building. And then it started slowly going down South Lamar, down South Congress. And now it's all the way on the other side of Ben, not even in 78704. And it's spreading out east, right? East 6th. You can buy, you know, in a condo building. And if you look downtown, the largest leasing building just got leased by Meta, which is Facebook's. But you think about, like, what's the future of Austin going to look like? I mean, it's got to get a hell of a lot more dense, and that's probably what's going to happen.
I agree. I think it has to. I don't disagree with you at all. But
I'm buying a condo downtown now. I'm going to go find one and buy a condo. There we go.
Well, I'm actually I'm potentially going to buy one of these Congress Lofts at St. Elmo, to be honest with you, because they have some live work spaces there, and I want to secure one of these first floor live work retail spaces for one of my potential businesses. So, like, I mean, I never would have considered this before. I remember a few years back, I was like looking in that like South Lamar, the Sola area, and you could get like a 3-2 kind of maybe an attached or detached for like 600. And even then you're like, wow, that's a lot of money. I don't know if I want to spend 600. Now I'm going to be like desperate to find a 2-bedroom condo in that same area for $600,000.
For 600. Yeah.
For a 2-bedroom condo in a 3 or 4 story condo building, no garage, right? It's going to be common garage parking or surface parking. So, I mean, I agree with you. I think the landscape's changing faster.
I think Mark even mentions this in the next question on there. All the live, work, play, high rises help supply it all. I think what's interesting is looking at the number of houses or number of units that they're adding in. It's nothing like, you know, a Santa Rita Ranch or an Easton Park where they're like, oh, we're building 12,000 homes. I mean, it's not that many in most of these cases. It's a couple hundred at best. A lot of it's stored for retail
Yeah.
And commercial.
Well, I mean, I get this question a lot, and obviously with real estate, I can't really make a video around this, right? Because there's rules and regulations about what we can and can't say. But I get this question a lot, and it's like, if where all the single people live? Where do single people? I'll tell you this: if I were a single person moving to Austin, and I was going to look for a place to live, I would live South Congress, somewhere near 7874. I would absolutely live off of South Lamar. I would live potentially East 6th, right off of downtown, up to about 12th Street, and that's probably as far north as I would go. Clarksville, if there was something in Clarksville, just north, like when I say north, like central Austin, like 35th, that area, you know,
Hyde Park, maybe
Hyde Park,
right?
Yeah, Hyde Park. That, I mean, that's kind of 35th, a little bit north 35th. But I would also look at like north. Now I would look at like just south of Ben White, right, just south of 270, 290, 70, because that area is changing like crazy. But I'm telling you, if single Jeremy had to live in Austin, I'm living in 04 in a heartbeat. I'm gonna make that happen.
I'm with you, bro. I'm either 04 or 4-5 gang. I'm still 4-5 gang, but I've been 4-5 gang for a long time. I just think that's probably my current favorite zip code. I actually think the St. Elmo area, not just there, but that entire corner all the way from St. Elmo to 71 and then all the way to 35 is so underdeveloped. It's not even funny.
Well, so Tesla has a service center right there in St. Elmo. And I just took my dude. Thank goodness. Thank you, Tesla, for finally doing that. Because I'm tired of driving way, way north Austin for that. So when I scheduled my Tesla thing, I had tires that were, you know, the tread was low. And I'm like, what the hell is the St. Elmo thing? Dude, can you? I'm a bigger Tesla fan now because I can go if I need to take a service, go service. There's a wine place, there's a liquor place right there, there's a coffee place, there's food, everything right there.
Texas sake.
Yeah, but then you walk like 30 feet east of that, and it's desolate. There's nothing over there. You know what's over there that's really, really cool. And I think go find the video on my YouTube channel to watch it. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever done. But right in that little area is Cathedral of Junk.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
I'll find that video, man. I did that video with my son. That was my favorite video. That guy is so cool. You know how many celebrities have gone through there, and this dude just like sitting there petting his dog, like whatever.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, I like that area a lot. To really quick touch on, Roland had asked this question about perspective on like townhomes in the suburbs. Real quick, I think that's currently a great product because I still think the affordable price point for a standard median income working family is going to be less than what the single family price point is right now in the suburbs. So I fully support driving that price down a little bit. And a townhome does not offer much less of a living experience than a standard detached property. So, and prices, I think now are keeping up with the rest of the prices in Austin. So I wouldn't be too worried that it's a secondary investment. So I support it. You know, density comes in phases though, right guys? It's like, I mean, they're not going to be building, they have to build 3 and 4 story towers in these closer areas, but you can't build a 20-story tower there to help with the housing situation. It just wouldn't go over very well. Look at that face. When was that? 2019?
I don't know why. I can hear it in my headphones, and then I can hear it on
just
here.
a baby.
Hold on. Let me.
Ooh.
Super pinchable face.
Super pinchable.
Jeremy.
Some people don't like HOAs. Well, you know, if you don't have an HOA, you might have this guy as a neighbor. But hey, it's fun, right? People think about Austin.
Look how young he is.
Well,
so young.
There you go. This is the Cathedral of
Jump.
Look at my little guy.
Jump.
Oxygen on First Street in St. Elmo. And this place is pretty awesome. Let's go take a look.
All right.
That's awesome.
I just wanted to show that.
Jeremy's been making videos for longer than I've been alive. That was a joke.
I'm hearing this twice for some reason. It's really weird.
Hearing what twice?
The audio twice.
Oh, our audio?
Yeah, let me fix that.
Jeremy, you got to fix that.
There we go. I can hear it all now. Yeah, that was such a fun video. Please go and watch that
very
video.
cool.
That's one of my like favorite videos that I've done. But yeah, super pinchable face. Thanks, man.
Super pinchable.
All right. So what we were talking about right before that, we're talking about density.
We were talking about builders until I derailed this.
We were talking about builders, but
Why is my trigger swelling
townhomes
for-
in suburbs and things like that. Somebody was asking about condos in Pflugerville. Phew, man, I don't think they're not competing. They're buying land, but they're not buying as much land as a development would have to. And if they're going to condoize them, they gotta, if they're single, like a single family, but condoized, so they're really close to each other. I would buy those because I already bought rental properties that way. But man, my old
You didn't do anything wrong, Jeremy. Your audio just messed up. Now you're muted.
You pulled your mic out with your foot.
Now you're muted again.
You guys talk. Let me see.
There he is.
That's good.
Well,
Oh, there you go. I did pull my mic out. Okay. Anyway. Ooh, Bratton Hill. Yes. I did a whole video talking about this area. Definitely buy there.
There's so much growth going on right now around the city. Like, I actually want to take a minute this next couple weeks to sit down and kind of summarize all this new stuff that's going on, you know, as far as new developments, new areas that are popping up, what's being offered, what builders are actually selling and which ones aren't. Because most of them aren't. Every builder I talk to is definitely like holding off right now to see what happens. And they've all told me, I had one builder tell me that they anticipated lumber prices to be higher this year than they were last year. I was like, where do you even get that from? Mm-hmm. For what reason? Like, you just don't lie to me. Like, don't lie to me. Like, just tell me you don't want to commit to a price right now until you see what the market's going to do.
I think depending on the builder, maybe that person didn't know and didn't have an answer.
Well, they were very adamant that it was because of lumber prices.
Yeah, but if it's from the top down, this is what you say.
Yeah.
It's scripted.
Well, I don't believe any of that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You know me.
There's my guy, Dan Parker. Hey, Dan, I did a video recently talking about the prices between California and Austin. And I talked about San Diego prices. In that video, free plug, I talked to my guy, Dan Parker. Dan Parker out of San Diego. Man, I can't wait to go to San Diego and see Dan. A real realtor.
Dan, I'm going there in March.
Oh man, I want to go.
Join me. Are
you doing an elite retreat in Vegas?
No, this is social media marketing world with Michael Selzner.
Michael.
I don't know who that is.
Selzner, sorry.
Did you watch the video with me and Tom Ferry today?
You talking to me?
No.
Yeah.
I watched it for a little bit.
Yeah. I was the night before we went to Tom Ferry's loft, like his condo, like penthouse. And he is like, "Oh, Jeremy, I hear you're a bourbon fan." Like there's like 40 of us there. Not that many people. There was probably about 20, 25 of us. He's like, I hear you're a bourbon fan. Try out my bourbons. This is my own line of bourbons. I was so hungover filming that the next day because Tom was pumping me full of bourbon. He found my vice. So that was fun. Let's see a video talking about the best Mexican food, Texas. I mean, we already know it's San Diego. Like, I'm not even going to make that video because it's not even worth it. Sorry. Anyway. Preston Village. Yep. Bratton Hill. Okay. What else do we want to talk about? Ian, start talking. Make words.
What about this rumor that Micron is bringing $40 billion manufacturing facility to Austin, Texas? That makes Samsung's $17 billion investment in Taylor seem minuscule.
They're a chip plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the graphic of the Taylor plant?
Yeah.
How many gigafactories fit inside the Taylor plant?
It's insanity.
It's crazy.
Insanity. That's just goes to show how powerful, how much money, how many jobs, and how much, everything, traffic, movement is happening in Taylor, Texas.
Well,
is that just empty space, right?
Where are they going to build that? It's not in Taylor, right?
It is in Taylor, right?
Right. The Micron, not Micron.
That's still rumored. We don't have any leaks.
That 40 billion is coming to Raleigh. You wish. Master Jedi, the worst thing you did was sell that house in Bastrop. You should have held on to it.
Oh, is he in Raleigh now?
Yeah, he went to Raleigh. He sold his. He didn't use me, so that's why I'm bitter. But he didn't use me to buy all these homes. Just kidding. But you sold that house out in Bastrop. You should have held, my man. You should have held. Paper hands.
It's all good. If it is investment portfolio for the long term.
I'm just giving him a hard time because he email me on me. Paper hands.
I mean, those speculations are interesting because that's the same thing that happened. Remember, Amazon was thinking about moving its headquarters. Instead of moving its headquarters, it just put like 5 distribution centers. That's okay. Yeah. I'll take that. I think I'd rather, it's okay.
Well, yeah, and they got up all that land up north of those buildings up north, off near Palmer, not Palmer. Where was it? Georgetown. Was it Georgetown they bought all that land, or was it by? Anyway, I'll have to find the article, but yeah. So Amazon brought all this stuff here. Go ahead.
So Kevin, who's frequently commenting on this channel, he sent me a thing about TeslaCon 2022. Biggest Tesla convention, all coming to Austin. Yeah,
to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, move over South by Southwest and ACO.
I know
we got
Tesla. Be the new thing.
Oh man, there's gonna be a bunch of nerds at that thing.
I'm ready. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I've got to get. I've got this is telling. I've got one of those masks that it's an LED mask, so you can change whatever the front of it is.
Oh yeah. That'll
be perfect.
Oh yeah,
bring my lightsaber in that mask.
I'm actually excited. Like, imagine our world, 50 years from now. I think that I love the idea that the entire
Mulletopia?
Mulletopia. Yeah. As the world grows around it, because we'll be in a bubble in case everything, floats, whatever. I think the entire east side of Austin will probably be like the biggest manufacturing hub of the country at that point.
The only thing they're missing is water. If there was water, it would have been a wholly.
They have water. They just have to decide not to sell it to the rice farmers anymore.
No. I mean water, water for shipping containers and stuff to get through. Oh. That's the only thing we were missing.
Well, then let's just petition to dig the Colorado River wider from,
Yeah.
Just like erase Houston. Just go.
Bypass Houston.
And at the same time, I will build a bridge. From Point Venture to Lakeway.
Oh my
God.
That
needs to.
great.
Yeah, that
Watch
is the worst.
Elect me.
Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey? No.
But I mean, here's the deal. Every environmentalist is going to be out there saying the 99 reasons why we shouldn't do that.
Fine,
I mean, this
let's
is
dig a-
Austin still. This
let's
is
just
still
dig a
Austin.
tunnel. Then we'll just dig a tunnel under
That's oh my
Lake
god.
Travis.
Yeah, because we apparently were really good at building tunnels in limestone.
Stop shooting me down.
What-
Stop killing my vibe, bro.
No, but what's crazy about East Austin is, have you driven down 183 recently?
Talking about all that
yes, the new toll road.
toll.
Is it toll? Dude, 183 was a breeze. I drove.
Totally.
I used to do like
It's empty.
Avoid 183 like the plague.
Yeah, no, it's
183
awesome.
right now is
So fast.
it's I mean, it's like 5 or 6 lanes, which it should have been forever.
Right.
You could drive down it, and you can get off nice and easy.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this 183? Can we get an I-35 this way? Like, holy smokes!
Well, it's becoming kind of that way because it's a fast way to get around an I-35 right now. Faster than, because used to be you had to go to 130 to go north. Now you don't have to. You can just go to 183 to hit a little bit further north, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to get around downtown's I-35 is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I was out there the other day, and I'm telling you, like, I mean, we are so far away from the type of density that we need. This entire section of Austin between 183 and 45, south of 290, north of 71, and even north of there, like the Decile area, is so not densely developed, like, at all. Like, we have such a long way to go, bro. We have so much opportunity.
Well, all that area up off of East Palmer, man. There's where they're doing what is it? Is it Palmer East? Is that project? But that whole area out there, there's nothing. There's a couple, manufacturing plants or stuff out there, but there's nothing out there, and that is not far from downtown. Like, it's crazy to me how East Austin is so sparse still, and people aren't. I mean, I'm sure people are now, but man.
How much
had
of
I
that
been in
is in a
real estate
floodplain,
10
though?
years ago and known to buy on the east side and buy and hold and be this crazy, I mean, I would have done it.
There's a lot of water, so I worry about being floodplain of sorts. And then there's what is it? The decommissioned power plant. Isn't that what's over at Walter E. Long? And so some people, maybe it's like the 5G effect. Oh, I can't be too close, right?
Yeah, but eventually you find solutions to the problems that were more costly now, but more relevant than they were back then, where the cost of implementing a solution wouldn't be nearly worth what the development opportunity would be over there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So at some point,
but we might just be hitting that point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. That's what I'm saying. I've said this all last year. We're at an inflection point. Well, the world's at an inflection point, but we're definitely at an inflection point for the type of Austin we're seeing going forward.
The other thing is we've got what is over there, McKinney Falls, right? And that's all protected land. I don't know how.
My friend owns that and
protection
the
goes.
land right across from McKinney Falls on the other side.
The one that's being developed right now.
It's not developed. He has a rock crushing plant out there, but I've seen the plans. They're drawing up plans to do a bunch of like businesses, high density stuff in there. He showed me the plans for it. Absolutely. So it's going to be literally right out the gate of the McKinney Falls entrance is going to be pretty much all of this stuff. And there's a big hill there. So you get views of downtown, which is great.
Yeah. You got to be able to service everybody in McKinney Springs or whatever. And then Easton Park.
Yeah.
Ian, besides the basin, there's a lot of non-floodplain land out there. It mostly comes into play over by Tesla. East of there, just through the river basin.
Yeah.
So still tons of opportunity.
Yeah. So do we have more news on Disney? So the whole Disney thing. So the guy who came on here and talked about it got threatened because he gave out too much good information. So he came to me and was like, you got to pull this video. So that's why we pulled it. So everybody keeps asking me about Disney. I've heard rumor here and there that they're going to do a senior facility out there, but I've heard the land's been purchased. I mean, have you guys heard anything new about Gerald? And go ahead.
I heard housing first. I heard it's going to be like Celebration Village first, not like a theme park. So are you familiar with Disney's Celebration Village?
Yeah.
right? I've heard that's going to be the first type of opportunity that they're going to dip
Like
into.
their presence,
Yeah,
just to dip a toe in Texas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I've been looking. I scour Reddit all the time. I'm trying to wait for something, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could keep that video up, man. But since he asked me to take it down, and then if I were to keep it up, I mean, theoretically, he'd come back and sue me for not for going against his wish to take it down. So
Punch him in the face.
So VJ, I want to hear from you. What mixed news are you hearing? I'd love to get your feedback. Yeah. I hear they're building a metaverse out there.
Disney is building metaverse.
Yeah.
They already filed the patents.
Yep.
They're going to build the metaverse in Jarrell?
See, that's the thing about metaverses
too. Everybody's building their own metaverse.
That's the thing about metaverses. You know, they're in the metaverse. They're not in a specific place.
All right. Hills of Estancia, Cascades, Turner Crossing, Bradshaw Crossing, almost nothing around it, but priced around 500K. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Hit me up if you want houses out there. I have 2 listing, both under 500.
Onion Creek has one of those live, work, play developments, right? Coming. A really nice one. Look pretty
Who
nice.
does?
Near Onion Creek.
Here's my idea. If you guys want to go in with me on this, this is what I'm thinking. I want to buy a building somewhere close to good traffic movement, close. So ideally like 78704 in that area. I want to do a real brokerage office, but all I really want is a stairwell that goes up to actually offices upstairs. I want to do a full upstairs media area so we can actually do this live stream in person and do an actual in-person thing. But downstairs, I want to put a coffee shop and a Mexican restaurant. I want to buy that building. If you find that building, let me know because that's what I want to buy.
Dibs
You want
on
to
the
put a coffee shop and a Mexican restaurant in the same place?
Heck yeah, man. Coffee shop, Mexican restaurant. I mean, think about it. As
It's gotta put some
realtors,
vanilla spice in it, right?
well, like think about it. If I want to go meet people, I go sit out at Cosmic Coffee. If I own the coffee shop that's down there and I go hang out and meet people that are coming in, boom, good. And if there's no real good, I mean, okay, there's a few good Mexican restaurants in Austin, but put a really good, like authentic place down there where you can meet clients as well. I mean, I'm going to be super fat within a year.
I'm going to do all that, but in the metaverse.
Siva Ram Bapana comment above that one.
And then when you order your food, it'll just Uber Eats it to your house.
Calling me out about Bar W. Heck yeah, I said it has a weird topology. If you look across the street, there's a mountain, and this is in a valley. That's weird to me, right? Like it drops a little bit. There are places that you'd be higher on a ridge, but it just I'm not an engineer. I don't know. I just see it.
You're not a geographer either, apparently.
I'm not I don't have a geography major, a degree in geography, but I thought it was a little strange that it was so much lower and downhill. Essentially downhill.
Exactly. If you think about it, there's a real estate place right now on the road in that little area right there. I want to do that same thing. We don't have to have water though. I mean, water would be cool, but
yeah, water isn't really necessary unless you want to pull your boat up to the dock and serve people that way. Roller skate down the dock.
You know what's funny to me? Like people, I look at these comments on TikTok and Instagram all the time about people. Like one guy was like super salty and he's like, I left Austin because it didn't have any soul anymore. It's like, I mean,
soul.
Bro,
okay.
First off, let's talk about soul. What does soul mean? And when was soul in Austin? Like you had to be really careful with that statement, right?
Well,
this person is.
What I realized is like, and this is just me. Like I'm not trying to dump on everybody's favorite Austin things, but your favorite Austin thing that's been around for a long time, objectively, unless you're nostalgic about it, is not like objectively that great. Like most of it provides a nostalgic experience for you or most people, and that's what they equate to the the experience is that it makes them feel like a certain time in their life that was very, very good. Not because objectively it's a really good business or restaurant or place.
I'm going to give you one. The graffiti park.
Yeah.
Loved the graffiti park.
Yeah.
It was a place that artists, people that wanted, that just liked the thought of being an artist or wanted to just go play around with spray paint could go and do that. And it was a legal, a place where you could legally graffiti everything and not have to worry about it. And you just saw such amazing artists there. And then they were like, but hold on, we can sell this for how much?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's gone or moved or whatever. But I haven't even wanted to look up the new one.
I thought it was funny. This girl posted, she's a pretty prominent like social media. I'm going to use the word influencer. I hate that effing word though. And she was like, is anybody else so sad to see this Hermes shop going like right in the middle of South Congress? I'm like, did you forget the fact that entire place was just commercialized with like an entire massive shopping center with Nike?
Oh my gosh, and like I drove down there for the first time in a while. That place is, talk about losing its soul. Like that's a craziest thing. Remember when they used to have a park there where you would walk up and there was nothing but trailers and you could buy all this food there? Think about it.
I don't disagree with you, but no amount of money is going to overcome the fact that location is arguably like the absolute best location in all of Austin. How many times a day do you see people stand in the middle of the street and take a picture of themselves with the Capitol building at their back?
You talking about SoCo?
Yeah, SoCo.
All the time.
You have to expect that.
People in wedding dresses recreating movie scenes. I'm like, what's happening here?
But like that's what you can expect is going to happen to this. But here's my point: is I don't think that that's less soulful for Austin. I think it's creating a new part of their soul. It's like a new experience. People are still down there having fun and drinking together and going to new restaurants now in Abba and places like that. They're still experiencing the city of Austin as it is. But again, it's that locked into the nostalgia that it's never going to change. And it's just ludicrous to think that it's not going to. Fight me.
I mean, did you put in your application for Hermes?
I would rather own the building. No, I actually heard some bad things about them recently, that they're doing the same thing builders are doing. They're purposely limiting inventory. Keep their prices up.
Well, I mean,
everybody's doing that though.
Everybody's doing that. All right, cool. We're about an hour and a half in. Let's end it there. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Guys again. Drop some more comments. If you want us to talk about some of the stuff, I see you're writing comments about Treviso and all these other places. Drop them in the comments below because I do want to talk about some of these communities in another video. We will catch you in the next video. Have an awesome night.